Hey, how to do a wholesale deal? We're going to take you live with us as we do a wholesale deal step by step. We have a very systematic approach about how we do this, and we keep it as simple as we possibly can. We feel like there's 3 steps to doing deals, and when you focus on the 3 steps, they're very simple to do. The 3 steps we talk about are FCS: find it, contract it, sell it. In this wholesale deal, we're going to take you through each one of those steps. You're going to see how we found the seller for the property. You're going to see how we got it under contract. You're going to actually go in the house and go with us as we look at the house, and you'll see why we made the decision to wholesale it. You also see how we sold the property, how we found the buyer. You're going to dive in and see the house live. You also hear from the seller and see exactly how she felt about the process. But you're going to go live into a real wholesale deal with us. The 3 steps we use for that are find it, contract it, sell it. Let's take a look. Hey, the first step in this process is find it. Find a property and a seller that have an interest in selling. Now, there's a variety of ways to do this. In this situation, we use texting to find this seller. We sent a text message to her, she responded, and we began to have a conversation. And eventually got on the phone and got the contract. But the first step in this process is find it. Let's hear what the seller had to say.
Somehow or another, I got a text message on my phone about talking to a company about selling this home. I have been contemplating selling for a long time, so I just answered back through the text message that I got. And I got a call from, I want to say Matt, I don't know his last name. He said he works for BRL Properties, and he came out and we talked. And then I gave him a chance to look at the home. And then eventually he pulled in Brett. I don't know his last name, but the process got started.
Hey, we're getting ready to go inside the property. And before we do, I want to talk to you for just a couple seconds about a few of the things we look for. Now, I'm not a professional inspector, and you don't have to be to do this. All we're trying to do is get a general picture of the condition of the property so we can determine which of our solutions best fits the seller's needs. So as I go through, you're going to see exactly some of the things we look for. But it's very, very simple. We're not trying to do a major inspection here. We're just trying to get a snapshot of the general condition of the property. Let's go inside and take a look. Hey, we just pulled up to a house that we closed on this past week, and it's a little 2-bedroom house. We ended up wholesaling this house, but I wanted to let you take a look at it and kind of see what we did. So come on in, let's take a look. It's a good little house, but it does need quite a bit of work. So going up to the front steps, first thing you'd have to do is put a handrail, and again, there's quite a bit of work to be done inside and outside, so this could be a good little property. Let's go on in and take a look at the inside. All right, the power's not on here, so it may be a little dark, but this is the living room coming in. You can see it's got some roof damage. It's going to need a new roof, but a good size living room. You see the fireplace is out. That's going to have to be addressed. Also, there's some buckling of the floor. There's hardwoods underneath here, but the floor is buckled up, which is from water damage. And again, that's going to have to be taken care of. So you've got flooring issues here. You can check to see if hardwood is underneath houses by looking in closets or in AC vents, heat and air vents. You can look at the ducts and just pull back. A lot of times you can see there. Again, as we go through into the dining room area, major water damage and rot. It's going to have to be rebuilt, but it's going to take a little bit to get that taken care of. So this side of the house, this right side as you face the house, has a lot of issues. Again, issues that can be taken care of. They're not hard to take care of, but they are costly. So a completely new kitchen goes in here. One of the things we look for first and foremost is the electrical, and is it updated or not? And when you come back here, you'll see that there was a fuse box in place at one time. So definitely outdated electrical, that will have to be all upgraded. The second thing we look for is the plugs. Are they 2-prong or 3-prong? And these are 2-prong, meaning two prongs from a cord would go in the plug, and not 3. So we check those things out. See peeling paint on the ceilings, but this side of the house is definitely needs a lot of attention. This side's not as bad. Here's the back bedroom. It does have some damage on the ceiling. As you can see, there's some mold. You definitely look for that. There's some black mold there, which is not healthy at all. So that there's water issues. But again, you can see the 2-prong plugs. 2-prong plugs here on the wall. This is the back bedroom. It does have a closet, small closet. As we're going out, it's pretty typical for houses this age for the heat to be in the center of the house, which was the hallway here. Here's the bathroom. The bathroom's actually not in terrible shape. The tile's in pretty good shape for the original tile. The tile around the tub is not bad. It's blue. So depending on what you are going to use this property as, a rental or a fix and flip, would probably determine whether you replace the tile or not. When we come out here and we look at the third bedroom, or the second bedroom, sorry, you can see the hardwood floors. This is, again, not in terrible shape. Definitely needs painting. And the doors, hardware everywhere on the doors. So you can see this is a house that needs quite a bit. Hey, when we looked at all our options on this property, the first thing we looked at was fix and flip. Would it make sense to do a fix and flip? And we looked at the amount of money it'd take to rehab the property, to bring it up to current conditions. And then we looked at all the properties around and what they were selling for, and those numbers didn't make sense. You know, we would not have made a profit if we'd done a fix and flip on this property. So the next thing we looked at was buy and hold. Could we buy and hold this property and use it as a rental? And again, we looked at the rehab numbers, and to bring it up to current standards, it just didn't make sense based on the rent we'd have made. So buy and hold was out also. We also looked at some creative situations in getting into the property, and those didn't make sense either. So really the answer for us on our end was the wholesale model. Hey, the second step in this process is to contract it. Once you've taken a look at the property and have a general idea about the condition of the property, you want to look around the neighborhood to see what other similar properties are selling for. Also see what other properties are being rented for as well. Now you can begin to find the solutions that you have that best fits the seller's situation. Now with our contract, the way we've designed it, it's very, very flexible. We have a variety of ways that we can enter properties and exit them. So it gives us a tremendous amount of flexibility when we get a property under contract. So we sat down with this seller and presented her with a solution that best fit the situation she was faced with. We quickly got it under contract and we're ready to move on to the next, third, and final step. Let's go there. Hey, the third and final step in this process is the sell it step. Now there's a variety of ways to find buyers. Let's go inside and take a look at how we found the buyer for this property. We quickly found a buyer, and the way we did that was there was a house being redone next door. Let me see if I can show that to you. We happened to see the house next door, and it was being, what looked to us like being remodeled. So we found the number to the person that had purchased that property. It was a company, and made contact with them, and they in turn wanted to buy the property. So they made us a fair offer, and we were able, as soon as we had the title issues taken care of, to close that deal. Like I said, we closed this last week. You know, as we looked at this property and decided whether we were going to try to keep it or try to just wholesale it and move it, we decided to wholesale it because it needed a lot of work. It needed a roof, it needs heat and air, electrical, so there'd be a lot of money spent. So that was why we made the decision on this one, just to go ahead and move it quickly for a little profit and move on to the next one. Hey, we closed that property and the seller was ecstatic. She was so excited with the results. Even though there was a few issues with the title, the closing attorney and the title company worked very quickly to get those resolved. And we closed that property and made a nice profit.
I know that somewhere God stepped in the midst of time. And when I thought I was going to have to go through a long, drawn out situation, it came to be just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Brett stepped in, and we ended up getting an attorney to do everything for us. But just so happened, I know it was God because I knew the attorney. So everything worked out fine, and BRL stepped in, and now I am a happy camper. We sold, I closed, and everything was wonderful, and everything went just as Brett told me that it would go. Now I'm so happy that I have another property that I'll be talking with BRL Properties a little bit later on and see how can they help me in that situation.
Now think about our system and our processes and how we stay laser focused on the true actions it takes to produce results. Like the FCS steps: find it, contract it, sell it. If you'd like to learn more about our steps and our processes and our system, I'd love to share more information with you. I'd like to answer any questions you have. I'd like to help you any way we possibly can. Feel free to call or email me anytime you want. I'd love to talk with you.